Welcome back, everybody. The FTN Bets World Cup betting preview is back. Zach Graham, a.k.a. Kawaisenberg DFS, Stefano Vaccarino at Big Money Play on Twitter. We're into Group G, getting down to the end of it here on the betting preview. But, I mean, this is – I don't know if this is the most entertaining group, to be honest, Stefano, but there's the most entertaining team in my book and who I think – I'm eating some chalk here, but who I think is going to end up winning the whole thing. Brazil leads Group G, also Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon to round out this group. So when you look at this team with the betting favorites in there, Steph, like, how are you breaking down this group? Is there going to be any sort of surprises, or is Brazil just going to sweep through this thing?
Well, I'm just like shocked where, Cameroon is plus 100,000 to win the World Cup, and they're the best team in this group, right? No, I mean, I think so. I think there's a clear winner of this group, and it's Brazil, and there's a clear loser of this group, and it's Cameroon. And then you have Serbia and Switzerland, where you're just like, okay, these teams are actually pretty evenly matched. I think naturally, just because Switzerland has had more world exposure in major tournaments, right? People are naturally going to gravitate to having Brazil and Switzerland advance. Certainly think that's very possible. I actually like Brazil and Serbia to advance. I think the Serbian team is a bit underrated. They have just a couple of really good players, and they have young players too as well. So I like this Serbian side to potentially squeak by Switzerland. Maybe that's just me trying to be a bit of a contrarian. Switzerland is slightly favored ahead of Serbia to advance out of this group. But give me Brazil and Serbia. And I really just want to talk about Brazil here. This team, this is probably one of the stronger Brazil teams we've seen in the last two World Cups. You think Brazil, you don't really think defense. Defense is actually the strength of this Brazilian squad. And that's why they're rightfully so the favorites to win this entire World Cup. So I'm with you there. I'm kind of eating the chalk, and I think Brazil is the team most likely to win the World Cup. And I'm really curious to see, what they do, right? Because there's always this aura with Brazil, especially in major tournaments, where if there's so much pressure on them to win the World Cup, and if anything goes bad, you kind of see them just really just struggle. And really struggle is maybe harsh, but remember what happened with Germany when they in the semifinals where they lost 6-1. Yeah. There's just so much pressure where you could see things just start going downhill. Luckily, this group shouldn't be the beginning of that. And I think because this defense is so rock solid, this team is legit and rightfully so the favorite to win it all.
Yeah, I don't think I have too much to add there. Like I said, they're my pick to win it. And again, I'm not going out on a limb at all there. But I guess the only thing I would add is you look back to qualifying for this team. They set a record for points in World Cup qualifying. 17 matches for this Brazilian squad, 14 wins, 3 draws. Did not lose at all. And that's one of the toughest, if not the toughest region to qualify in. Brazil was playing Argentina, Uruguay, Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, Chile, Paraguay, Venezuela. Again, you get down to the bottom of those standings, not heavy hitters, but not the worst teams in the world either. And to be unblemished going through that entire 17-game run just highlights how strong and deep this team is. And I can't wait to watch them. And to be honest with Brazil, I can't wait until the group stage is over, because then they'll actually be playing against some teams that could maybe make a dent. But how about these other three, right? For me, and again, not going out on a limb here, it's between the Swiss and the Serbians for this second spot. Obviously, Xhaka there for the Swiss. He's had an up and down run with the national team, right? But I think if all of that aside, right, just looking at this team as a whole, they should be the ones to come out of the group. And maybe it's just because I'm trying to stir up some value here. I'm actually going with the Serbians to be the one to advance out of the group. So how do you feel about those two? I know, jokes aside about Cameroon, they're a team that if the Swiss or the Serbians drop points to the Cameroonians, then we've got chaos for that second spot.
100%. I think the Serbian team is more talented than the Swiss team. I'm with you. I think Serbia is going to advance. I'm going to butcher some names here. I actually struggle with Eastern European names more than anything. But Milinkovic, Savic, and Vlahovic are two really are players to watch on the Serbian side if you're not too familiar with them. Savic is just a big, strong midfielder who's just going to control the tempo, and Vlahovic is a young, pacey winger who just is fun to watch. And they also have the veteran Tadic, who's if you've watched the Euros or if you've watched any qualifying or previous World Cups, he's that lefty he's their dead ball taker who's just deadly on dead balls.
Yep.
So they kind of have it all. I think they're actually more talented than Switzerland. So I'm with you. It's Brazil, Serbia for me. I think there's some value with Serbia. There's still I'm not actually betting a group forecast in this group though, because I do think it's super, super close between Serbia and Switzerland, and there's not like a ton of value. That kind of leads to my best bet and player to watch. My player to watch is the chalk pick in this group, and it's Neymar. He's just been in great form for PSG. We've said similar things to Messi. We'll probably say the same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo. But Neymar maybe has one more World Cup in him, right? He's obviously younger than both those players. But this is probably the last World Cup in his true prime. And he's playing really, really well. So I just want to see how Neymar looks in an international tournament, especially in a tournament where this is probably the tournament with the most pressure he's ever had on him. And my best bet is Neymar to win the Golden Boot at plus 1,400. I think that's actually pretty good value considering this is a team that should go on a deep run. He's going to be their PK taker. He's going to be taking a lot of their free kicks. He's a goal scorer, right? So I like Neymar plus 1,400 as the Golden Boot winner. And if you want to just play a little chalk, I actually think there's some value in this line. Brazil to win Group G at minus 220. I think that should be like minus like 350 or minus 4.
Yeah. Like where is that?
That is on FanDuel, I believe. Let me actually get it up right now. It is. Yeah, FanDuel minus 220. It's minus 300 or higher everywhere else, and it's minus 278 on Caesars. If you go to ftnbets.com/futures, you can see all the World Cup futures. Just
there you go. There you go. Well, it's interesting. I mean, you mentioned the prop shop again. You ftnbets.com. You find the prop shop there under the tools tab. You look at Brazil. You mentioned FanDuel, best odds for them getting out of the group. I love that. And again, like I said, they're my pick to win. So right now, the best odds for Brazil to win the whole thing on FanDuel as well, plus 450. So I would get those odds if you want, and then out of the group, Serbia plus 130 to get into that second spot, or I guess technically the first spot, just to qualify for the knockout stages. I don't think their World Cup goes much beyond the round of 16, but again, I do like them getting out over the Swiss. But I would focus on the Brazil bets here. I love the Neymar call. I have him to win. So that's where I'm at with this group. But again, you can go to ftnbets.com/World Cup. That's where all of our World Cup content is going to be. That's your headquarters for it throughout the tournament. So, and again, it's not just the betting preview. We're not stopping there. We're going to have bets posted, discussing in the Discord every single day of the tournament. And if you're not a member yet at FTN Bets, you can go to ftnbets.com/free. You can get a free 3-day trial of FTN Bets. And then if you like what you see, you sign up using the promo code scrolling right beneath us this whole time, FTN TV. It'll get you 20% off that FTN Diamond package. So 7 down, 1 to go here on the FTN Bets World Cup betting preview. We'll see you right back here shortly.